It's a thin line between over and under training. Really is not, but there's some controversy around this one. I mean, we all want to hit our peak and maintain that for as long as possible. How do we know if we're going OD or too hard versus not going hard enough?
Let's get ready to rumble!
All right, so in order for us to achieve long-term success as far as our health and fitness goes, and to avoid burnout in sports, we must find the right balance. So, what is overtraining? Contrary to what a lot of people believe, overtraining is not doing the same exercises over and over again. Overtraining is overexerting ourselves consecutively without allowing adequate rest or proper nutrition before the next session. With overtraining, we have to be careful because our bodies will renege and force us to sit down due to injuries. Also, in the overtraining state, our body immune system break down or get weakened, which causes us to become sicker quicker. Now, to be clear, there is no medical test to diagnose overtraining syndrome, but we do have a couple of markers that we can go by. In the studies that I've looked over and researched, most of the subjects are in controlled environments. So the normal day, everyday life stressors were taken away from their routines. With that, watch out for persistent fatigue. Are you tired all the time? It seems like you cannot recover from day to day. Another marker is greater than 5% reduction in performance. Is your performance dropping off majorly? Things like reaction, time, and awareness, those type of performance cues. Your mood. Is your mood changing? Are you in more of a depressed state or nonchalant state? Then we can get into some more measurable markers like resting heart rate. Have your resting heart rate increased by greater than 10%? Also, an increase in submaximal exercise in your heart rate. This a variation between 8 beats per minute. So anything greater than that calls for concern. The last marker is quite hard to test or control for in a normal setting, but if you have some doctors around that can do some blood work, is greater than 30% decrease in your testosterone cortisone ratio. And all coaches and parents, we have to monitor our athletes to help them become aware of their bodies and these type of symptoms. Plus, we know our athletes. Now, there is a method we use called overreaching and tapering, where we push into these upper limits before tapering to quickly push into our peak form. However, undertraining is easier to spot, in my opinion, than its matchup. Each sport has its baseline requirements for its skill sets, strength, fitness, and conditioning levels. Depending on different factors, the sport, the role, how many minutes you plan on the game, etc., will determine what's needed to maintain that baseline. So in off season, we worked hard, built the baseline up. However, keep in mind an average of 3% of strength is lost per week when the stimulus is stopped, and a complete reset after 8 weeks. Undertraining can also lead to injury. We cannot ask our body to do something that is not used to doing. Yet, if we gradually build up, our bodies can do amazing feats. I found that balance by listening to my body and being honest with myself, having a proper recovery routine, and varying the intensity of my workouts. That's more in season than off season when load management can become problematic. Before I bounce, and I've posted this already on the socials, but here are a few tips to help find your sweet spot. Smartwatch. This Fitbit app controls heart rate variation, resting heart rate, sleeping hours variation. It gives a lot of data. However, if you do not have access to a smartwatch, old school pencil and paper, track how you feel before and after sessions, your fatigue rate, the intensity you use during those sessions. Another one is prioritizing sleep and nutrition. They say between 6 and 8 hours for adults, maybe 8 and 10 for teenagers. I tend to be around the 6 hours, but proper nutrition, if you're doing twice a day workouts, make sure you're getting the carb and protein mix in there. And lastly, hire a coach, someone that will help you with periodization and proper progression. Remember, this is a journey. Finding the right balance between overdoing it and not giving your body enough stimulants to continue to develop is an art. As always, I'm Janathan Bullock from Online. For more content like this, like, share with a friend, and follow. Peace.